So, just for fun, on Time to Fly, company I purchased my motorhome from, Bullinger's, asked me if I'd come and work the show for a week, selling motorhomes. And I have to say, it's an endurance test. But look, great vans. I've had a proper laugh. Lots of stories, which I'm not going to tell you on here. But something that's occurred to me is, and I keep getting asked, gadgets. I'm a gadget man, and I found loads of things that make my life or our life better when we're on the road, wild camping. Obviously we'll do the odd campsite, so that's caravan show. Do come, it'll blow your mind and ruin your feet, which is done to me in a week.
It's off-grid gadgets. I was asked this at the NEC when I was selling some motorhomes, and people are interested in off-grid. This van is geared up for off-grid. We've always, from day one, gone off-grid. I say that lightweight. We probably do 4 or 5 days, and then we go to a campsite. Then, I mean, we do go to campsites occasionally for a longer period of time, but we like the independence of being somewhere in the middle of nowhere. So my headings, I'm going to go for safety and security. We fitted, just for a bit of security, I know this is not particularly off-grid, I've just had 3 locks fitted for the habitation door and the 2 garage doors. So when we go off hiking, it's a little bit more secure. I know they can get in, but hopefully if there's one a bit further down the road that hasn't got locks, they'll go for that one. Who knows? Also, when you're parked up and you hear a noise and you're in the middle of bloody nowhere, you think, oh, what is that? It could be a deer, could be a fox, but it's nice to have a little glance at the cameras. So I adapted, see if you can see that. That's a blink camera, and I've screwed that to this handle of these suckers. I will put these up on the screen with a QR code. Obviously, I can only get the price when I do this at the time I make this. It may vary when you look at it. And we don't make money. There's no affiliation. We're not anything to do with making money. It's just hopefully just to help you. So they're great. I've got 2 of those. Downside is I stick them up there. We have breakfast, and then the next day we go off and I forget to take them. Numerous times. I will lose these, I'm sure. I leave these stuck to the side of the van and forget when I drive off. So remember to take them off and put them on there if you're going to use blink cameras. The other thing about blink, no power. The reason I went down this route, there's 2 AA batteries in these cameras, and they last for about 2 years, they say. Who cares? A year. I mean, 2 AA's. That's a lot. That's why they're great. You can stick them anywhere, at the back of the van. You could have 4. I've only got 2. I mean, I stick both sides of the van and I can see roughly what's going on. And obviously infrared and all that stuff. Other handy thing, 2-way radios. I'll show you those on the side. Really handy. Sometimes you cannot see, even with your camera. I say to Julie, can you jump out and see me back? Or trying to get in spaces if it's tight, and she can just talk. Also, if you've got no phone signal and you're in the middle of nowhere and she wants to go off, or we go off somewhere. Sometimes we go when you're in a campsite and you go to the shower block and you've got 1 pass. We stick them in there because it's just easier to let you back, coming back, all that stuff. So, that needs a subscription. That's the downside of that. You have to have a subscription for that to really work. So, power and gas, which is where off-grid really lives or dies, isn't it, really? We've got 2 solar panels on the roof, totaling 400 watts. I had another one put in. I feel it's a bit more, but anyway, they say 400. And 1 lithium battery. So I had the 2 leisure batteries taken out, 1 lithium put in. They tell me that this 1 lithium is the equivalent of 3 leisure batteries. They certainly cost the same as 3 leisure batteries. So that's really good. I've not run out. I mean, the gauges that you get on this Def Lef are not great. They're not, if I'm honest. That's, when you press the readings. I've got an app on the phone for this battery, that tells me its life, you know, what it's doing and charging and all that stuff. That does work well. So 240. Now you could, a lot of people, and I probably would have gone down the route, will have 240 as an inverter put in the van. I had bought a freestanding Bluetti because I had a camper van first of all, and it sat down the middle, and it was perfect. Gave me 240 volts to run power, you know, all that stuff. That which I paid £2,000 for, which this new version of mine, they don't make this one anymore, which is, I'm going to put on the screen, is only 1,300, I think. So it's a cheaper way, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, than having an inverter and all that stuff fitted into the van and have all your batteries altered just to buy a unit. So that's what I think, and I've got it anyway. So when you use that, by the way, it's fully charged, 100%. You plug in electric. I've got a small electric kettle. 2 cups of tea is 4%. So you've used 4%. The coffee machine, an Nespresso coffee machine, uses 2% for 2 coffees. The air fryer, we've got a little air fryer that we bought in Audi, which is great for a couple of bits of. So when you're off grid in the winter, and you might want a couple of little bits of fish, a bit of salmon, a bit of cod, and you don't want to stink the van out, the air fryer is great. Obviously, we would normally sit out there with a barbecue and cook, so you don't stink the van. The air fryer uses 10% for about 25 minutes, and is enough to cook a couple of little bits of fish. That's what we worked out. So you get a week's worth of power from that thing. We've got gas. Right. So we've got refillable 2 LPG refillable bottles, and the EU adapters. They're great. They're fine. Not so good in the UK when you're in Scotland now, where we go, because there's less LPG garages. But anyway, that works. I've also got a note here about the 25-metre orange cable that everybody buys. It's heavy. I don't know if you've ever picked it up and you're trying to wind it back in and it's stiff and cold. Mine's in the shed now. I've got rid of it. I've gone for a 2.5 blue cable, and it's really bendy, nice, and it's light. You try and do that with the orange one, your blooming arm falls off. So anyway, that's just I know you'll say, oh, it hasn't got the insulation, but it has. It's 2.5. It's fine. It works. It's superb. What else have we got? We've got water and waste. Let's talk. Oh no, sorry. I'll go back to lighting. So I've got a couple of these little USB lights. Charge them up. You charge it up on the USB. The last, I don't know, about 3 nights, maybe 2 nights. I don't know. And then I unscrew this top, and then when I've got them charging while we're driving, and the reason I do that, and we've got some other little lights around the bed, is the LED lights that these lovely vans, these very expensive vans, Def Left, have all got all these LEDs, and they rinse your batteries, I think. So rather than use the LEDs in the van, we use these of an evening. So the power I'm using is to power my TV and all the other stuff, not wasting it on lighting. That's power. Right, this is where people do underestimate, I think, water. We carry 2 extra toilet cassettes. I bought 2 Thetford cassettes, so in a black holdall. So you buy them. You can buy them with 2 holdalls. So they're in zip bags made by Thetford. I'm lucky. I've got a recess in the garage. I can slide the 2 in, and all I do as soon as one of those gets full, swap it round, take seconds, put it back in there, and then when we get to a campsite or a dumping station, wherever it is, you can just empty those. That's fine. So that gives us, technically, it could give us 6-7 days. We very rarely use the 3rd one. We tend to use the 2 because they're 2.5 days roughly if you're doing everything with those. Right, a little tip with toilet, talking dirty. Happy Bowls. I did film a little piece in here. I'll silence that and try and show you that as I'm talking now. The Happy Bowls are a little box. My sister-in-law told me about them. Not a lot of people know about this. They're like a tissue paper, and they fit the bowl. You drop them in. Come in a box of 50. So it works out. I think they're £10. We'll see what price I can find, but about £10 a box. So that's 20 pence a poo. So that's good value for a. Used to be a spend a penny, didn't it? So you drop this in, you do your number 2s. It wraps it up nicely, leaves your bowl sparkling clean. It drops in the bowl, biodegrades like the toilet paper, and that's it. So we love a Happy Bowl. I'll put that up on the screen. See if you fancy that. We've got water, so we do have 135 litre freshwater tank, 100 litre grey waste. So working it out, roughly a shower. So in the morning I get up, put the boiler on, boost it. I think it's a 10 litres boiler. That gives us 2 showers. So it's about 5 litres per shower. Obviously you don't stand like at home and leave it on. You're on, you rinse, a bit of that faffing about. So you use about 5 litres if you break it down. With the 2 of us showering, washing up, flushing the loo, realistically we get about 4 or 5 days. Now we could stretch that if it's a 5 or 6, so that means cutting back a bit and maybe getting a bit smelly, maybe, I don't know. Don't shower. I like a shower, so silly. So yeah, we install underwater. I've really missed that. We also have an under sink filter, which when I bought this van, I said to the guy, I thought it was going to be a cheap thing. It wasn't. It was nearly 500 quid, this thing. But it comes, one they put in boats. It's fantastic. We drink the water from the tap. Obviously, it depends where. If you're in Scotland, it's peaty stuff and all that. We drink the water. I'm sure it'll be fresh in Norway. The downside of it is the filter, the refill cartridge. The last one I bought, and I tend to replace it once a year, is £105. So expensive filter, but hey, it saves me carrying. We do carry sparkling water and stuff, of course, but we generally drink that for tea, coffees, and everything else. Spare gear. What do I carry as spare gear? Well, I carry a spare water pump. I've seen how it's been fitted. It sits in the cold water tank, because we did have water pumps are about £40. They're handy. If one breaks, we're on a 7-week trip and the pump goes, I can replace it. We also carry wing mirrors, because you clout those. I've done one of those already, so I carry those. The first one in Mercedes was £50 or something ridiculous. I found someone on a website for wing mirrors for Fiat Ducatas and for this is a Mercedes, and it wasn't much, £20. Anyway, they're great. Keep that. We've also got I bought a spare wheel, which cost me a fortune, because nothing comes with spare wheels. What happens when I'm on the fjords in Norway and I got a puncture? I bought a 4-ton jack, a little bottle jack, and a spare wheel, which cost me £370. But it's got all-season tyres, and it's a proper wheel. It's not a breakdown. So we can, in theory, change a wheel. So that's that. External setup. So outside, off-grid. So like where we're going this weekend to Albury, if you park on the side there, you can't put your blind out, because it's just not acceptable when you're off-grid. But what I've found, I've got these suckers going like this. They're in I did film it, I'll show you that. So the blind can come out. You can put the suckers on the door and there. The legs go in, and you can just tip the blind out to stop some of the sun. I like that. That's a little, it doesn't damage it, because I know these blinds come with a thing, you can screw it on the van and all that. This is just a sucker. And as long as it's not windy, that's great. So that's for the awning. We've got another sucker washing line. Great thing that comes out. So when we're away for a long time and Julie wants to rinse her smalls, you can stick it on the side of the van and she can show them to everybody. That's another advantage, or not. we've got a little USB Hoover. I can't get past that camera to get to that to show you. I'll have to show you, put that on the screen. Little Hoover, USB Hoover, which is handy for obviously hoovering up. A lot of people have the Dyson, and I've looked at some of this, great, but we're not on 240 all the time to use the Dyson, so we've got a USB charging Hoover, and it's also good for mosquitoes. You know, if you get in there as mosquitoes, you can hoover them. I know. While we're talking about mosquitoes, I've just remembered we have a couple of these little lights. I'll put these up. They're a normal light as a backup, and the best bit is they've got the little blue. Can you see that? The light that attracts mosquitoes. And that's great, because if we're in a mozzie sort of place, these couple of lights, again, they're all chargeable on USBs. You can imagine every day I've got loads of USB cables. I'm always charging everything up when we're driving, because they run out. But yeah, we hang these up, and they're great because we can, when we go to bed, hopefully, if there's anything lurking about, they'll go for that, because if they don't go for that, they go for me. They don't go for Julie, they go for me. They just mozzies love me. So that's the Hoover. Connectivity. We've got to stay connected. We've got two systems. So we've got the installed router, SIM card, unlimited 4G, which is great when we're in the UK. What I discussed, spent ages searching on the internet for an unlimited data card that I could put in my router for when we're in Norway. I gave up in the end. What EE said to me, I've got 3 phones, Julie and I, and then I've got the card in here is £14.50 a month for unlimited. And the nice thing is with that, we can, it's not nice. When we went I said to them, what about you, Norway? 50 megabyte per, what they're giving me, 50 meg per country per month. So we're going to drive, so when we're in Norway, we've got 50 gig, which I know you could argue that's a lot. It's not. I watch the telly through the internet. When I was away for 5 weeks in Scotland, we used 500 gigabytes. So what we did, we went for Starlink, which we have here, a Starlink. So that is another, I will put this on the screen, there's another gadget. Problem with Starlink, it's hugely expensive. If you're not living in the van and off, a van lifer, it's £96 a month. I think it's a lot of money, but for a 7-week trip, for a couple of months, a couple of £100, that gives us high-speed internet, unlimited. And I can also, what I found this gadget here, which was a silicon thing. It works really well. It sticks up on the roof light up here, and the dish goes in there. We plug it in. I had to wire in a special booster to power. The Starlink needed more power than my USBs would give me. So I'll put that on the screen. That's what you need for Starlink. So we're going Starlink for roaming. I will, so of course the £96 a month, when you're finished with it and you come home, you can turn it off and they charge you £4 a month, which I only did from last September. Apparently they used to let you just turn it off. So that's what we do. We also will have to have a VPN, because obviously if we're going to watch BBC News or any of that stuff, it's going to need a VPN. So thanks for watching. See you on the road.
I can't let you go, baby. I just want to tell you that. No. Yeah. All of my friends say, girl, you better take care, 'cause that man is trouble, you best beware. And though deep down I know I might be headed for teardrops, now that you got me started, I just can't stop. no, no.